All right, number 7 ranked UFC flyweight, Kai Car France. Appreciate the time, man. I know you're on lockdown right now. I've been watching your videos on Instagram. How is life right now for you?
Hey, bro, always a pleasure. It is what it is. You can't really dwell on it too much. You just got to make the best out of the situation. For being as like a fighter, since that we don't really get to be normal, or there's nothing ever um, big enough to stop everyone from doing their job. But this is for everyone, and this is bigger than the sport and bigger than MMA. So um, yeah, it's kind of weird being just normal, I guess, and we're all in the same boat, not being able to work or train normally. But yeah, just making the most out of the situation. But I still want to maintain some sort of fitness, and I'm lucky enough that I've got like a bag and a bike, and I've got flatmates that to talk to get me through this, or that to help each other get through this. But yeah, it's a weird time to be in the world right now, and I had a fight booked as well, so I was supposed to be fighting in San Diego May 16 against Alex Perez. Contract signed, everything, and then only a week ago, or maybe even less, I found out that the California Athletic Commission had stopped all combat sports, combat events until June. So that means the San Diego card will be cancelled. So I kind of already predicted that this would happen, seeing as the UFC have already postponed or cancelled their upcoming events. So I was trying to maintain some sort of fitness to just to make sure that if something did happen, I'd still be somewhat ready. But yeah, now I guess we'll look towards the next thing. So we're still staying in contact with all my teammates. City Kickboxing, obviously our gym's closed, but I know the protocols and the schedules that we have, so I try to stick to some sort of structure in my day. So that's helping me get through this situation. Yeah.
So your contract that you signed to face Alex Perez, is it void now since the San Diego card is no longer happening?
Uh, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know how this works now. It's just such a unique situation. So I'm sure that they'll be in contact, I guess, sooner or later when it's closer to that event. But yeah, they've got bigger problems to deal with rather than they've got events that are supposed to be happening this week, or next week that they need to be dealing with. So I'm not really high on their priority list, or the event isn't high on their priority list. So yeah, it's fine. Like I know how it all works, and um, as soon as this all clears up, the sooner we get back to being normal and get back to training, because that's another thing. You can take fights and prepare the best you can, but you ultimately need your team and need a gym to get you ready for a fight. And I wouldn't feel comfortable going into a fight without all my preparation, all my coaches. Yeah, it just wouldn't be fair, and I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't be putting on the fights that I have been putting on if it was just me going in there. So yeah, we'll see what happens in the next few months. But we're only in week one of. Well, we just finished the first week of lockdown in New Zealand. Our Prime Minister has said four weeks is what we've planned to do, with the case of an extension. So there will probably be an extension. So right now, yeah, we're on a lockdown where we can only leave our house for essential travel, like supermarkets, pharmacies, doctors, and then also you can go outside for walks. So I can go running. I've got my bike as well, so I've been able to get on that to get some fitness, get some fresh air, reset the mental as well, because that can start to do your head in when you feel like you're stuck in prison.
That's great, man. You're keeping active because it's so easy to just be at home and just lay on the couch or lay on the
Sure.
bed and just watch TV or whatever. the time goes by so fast too when you just sit there scrolling on your phone. So it's good that you're keeping a schedule like most of your teammates, probably are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's good to see. Now, Alex Perez, you have that fight, but now it's like the flyweight division is flipped on its head a little bit because you got some guys coming in
Yeah.
to the division, some exciting guys. You got Manel Kape, the rising bantamweight champ. He just signed with the UFC, and he was telling me, I interviewed him a couple of days ago, and he's saying that part of the deal is like he gets to face a top contender in his debut. What about him, man? What do you think? Maybe they might call you and say, okay, let's do it.
I didn't know that. I knew he was getting signed, but I thought he's a bantamweight. So that's good for our division. He's the current risen champ. He's just coming off a big win against Horiguchi. So he's definitely, he's a gun, and he's tough.
No, Asakura, Kai Asakura.
Oh, sorry, yeah, that guy. So that's the guy that bet Horiguchi, right? Yeah, sorry. He's coming off a big win against him, and that was a massive upset. So he's definitely credible, and he can back it up. So it's good to see some new blood come into the UFC, especially current champions and other organizations. So that's great for the division. And if it's just one of those things, if he wants a welcome fight, they can all get it. Another guy that just came out recently, Cody Garbrandt. He wants to come down to flyweight from bantamweight, saying that he wants to make the flyweight great again and save the division. But all these guys keep saying that, but it's been saved, and we're doing a good job of it as well. So that's the fight that I want. I want to fight Cody. I feel like it's a good matchup for me, and it's his first time coming into flyweight, so it smells of the same kind of situation as TJ coming down, thinking he's going to get easier fights. Where if you're a natural flyweight, or if you've been doing this weight cut, you know how your body works. But if you're doing it for the first time, you're going to be kind of out of your comfort zone, and you won't know how your body's going to react. And let's say, you might have that knockout power, but when you're cutting weight, you're going to be losing water from your face and from your head, which means you're going to be a bit more vulnerable from the shots. Like I've said it before, I can't take the same shots that I do at bantamweight at flyweight. It's just your body works differently. But I know that, and I'm aware of that. But I feel like he's a bit naive, thinking that he's going to be able to do that at flyweight. So if he wants to come down, I already called him out on Twitter. I know him. I've met him a few times. Nothing personal, but it's a big name fight, and he was the previous bantamweight champ in the UFC, so it's a massive name to take, and it'll look good on my resume as well. So if he thinks he's going to jump in and get a flyweight title straight away, he's coming off a 3-fight lose streak, so he's got to earn that. I'm right in the middle there at number 7, so I feel like that's a good matchup, and fans would want to see that. I've seen a lot of people saying I'd love to see that on a Max Alex Volkanovski undercard as like a co-headline, or like Dan Hooker, Dustin Poirier co-headline. So it's a fun fight for the fans, and it's those fights that I want to be getting. I want those bigger names, and Alex Perez might have to just wait.
Well, Cody, he's lost 3 in a row, all by knockout, and that as a bantamweight. So if you, like you said, if you cut down 10 more pounds to flyweight, do you feel that chin is much more compromised?
Yeah, definitely. Look at the blueprint of TJ when he fought Henry Cejudo. You might be fast, and you might be the bigger guy, 5'8", I think Cody is his height, but doesn't really matter at flyweight. We're all fast. That's not a strength at our division. And if you're bringing in that power, it's something to separate, because I do hold knockout power in this division as well. But you got to be technical, and you got to pick your shots when you do it. You can't just come out guns blazing, because guys will weather the storm, and they'll put it back on you, and then you can't just expect to stand and bang with all these guys when they know how their body works and they can take these shots. But it's just going to be a different ball game, I feel like. But it's a fun fight, and yeah, I'd love to have that fight. Let's say the UFC gets back and running in the next 3 months. Um, if they come back to Australia, if that Perth card's still happening, that would be great to get on that with Cody, or if they want me back in America as well. So anywhere in the world, people would want to pay to watch that fight. So yeah, it's something that I'm really interested.
He said he wants to fight a Sun Sao first at bantamweight, but do you feel like there's no reason to, because it's not like he's gonna get a title shot off that fight, so he might as well go down to flyweight automatically.
Yeah, doesn't make sense. You don't want to be coming in on a 4-fight lose streak. Not saying he's not talented. I'm not saying that he's still in his prime, but it's just different, But he needs to do something differently that he's been doing, because obviously it's not working. And if he wants to keep brawling, come brawl down flyweight. It's going to end bad as well. So, yeah, I like these guys that are talking about the division, and they want to have a taste of it. It's a good thing. People are talking about it. People want to see it. So I welcome it. Brandon Moreno got a good win a month ago in Brazil. That was pretty unique with no crowd. I was watching that fight very closely against Formiga. It was good. It was a good fight. These guys were action-packed the whole time. A lot of things Brandon did against me with Formiga, staying in the pocket, using his boxing. His ground game looks slick as well. A lot of reversals, a lot of back take reversals as well. So it was a good fight to watch. And I messaged him after to say congrats. But I expect to see that fight later on in my career. I want that rematch, maybe for the title. We'll see how our past pan out. But yeah, it's a fight that I want to get back. I feel like I'll be a lot more prepared this time, and maybe do it on this side of the world, in Australia or in New Zealand. That'd be fun.
Going back to Manel Kape, he, like we said, rising bantamweight champion, but he's naturally a flyweight. He told me he only went up to bantamweight because there was no flyweight division in rising. A lot of people, there's two sides. There's two sides to him joining the flyweight division. Some people say he's gonna do well. Some people say it's too soon. He should have fought a couple more times with rising. Do you feel like he has the talent to become a top 5 guy? A guy that's going to fight for the title and be there for a long time?
Yeah, it's one of these things where it's on paper, the guys might not look like they're legit or they're ready. But after their first fight in the UFC, you can always tell how they're going to do. And it's always different. You might be fighting in big organizations outside the UFC, but once you're in the UFC, that's the big show, and that's where you want to make it count. And that's where he needs to make a statement. So he's just got to come out here and kind of put it on and show why he deserves to be here. That's what I feel like all the flyweights have been doing. The ones that have been, I guess, making a bit more noise are just kind of going out there and making sure that people remember who they are, and showing the UFC and the matchmakers and Dana White that they're exciting and they're fun to watch. So, yeah, he's got a good style for that. He's got a lot of finishes, and he comes to swing. So I expect him to make a bit of noise in the UFC for sure.
If you're a matchmaker, who do you put him against first? Do you feel like let's say Pantoja would be a good matchup for him?
Yeah, Pantoja or that Russian Askarov. Yeah, that'd be a scrappy fight as well. Maybe Tim Elliott, someone that's going to bring the fight to him as well. Yeah, there's a few fun matchups. There's that you would put him up against a guy that you knew that would give him a hard fight, and then you'd know where he sits after that. So yeah, it all depends on matchups. I know he's a striker that loves to swing, so it will be someone that wants to do that as well.
The title's vacant right now. There was supposed to be a champion crowned at UFC Norfolk. Davison Figueiredo, Joe Benavides. Man, it's when you see the title up for grabs and one of the guys comes in and misses weight. Like, what is your reaction to that? Because I'm pretty sure if you're in that position, you're gonna do anything possible to make the weight.
Yeah, it's like that's the only thing you had to do: show off and make the weight. So it's yeah, he kind of did it to himself. He had a lot of time to get ready, but it's for the title, you know. You can. I'm not saying you can miss weight, but if there's any time not to miss weight, it's for the title, because there's so much on the line, and you're the headline of the card. So that was designed for. I feel like that was designed for Benavides to win. That was all set up. You know, he's been such a staple in this division for how many years now. You know, he's such a likable guy. The UFC love him, and it just went all bad. But granted, you know, people are saying that they should do the rematch. Yeah, it was a headbutt. Yeah, he did miss weight, but he did get injured. You know, that was a big head knock, and that's going to take a little while to recover. I wouldn't want to see that fight too quickly because he's not going to be able to recover. But it's I guess a good situation that we're in right now because no one's fighting, so he can rest. So yeah, I feel like I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if they're going to give a rematch. I don't know if they're going to give it to someone else against Figueroa. Maybe Brandon Moreno. Maybe Pantoja. It's a weird situation with those guys because Moreno obviously bet the number 2 guy, Formiga, but Pantoja's bet Moreno twice. So it wouldn't feel right to leapfrog him if he's already bet you twice, you know. So yeah, we'll see in the next coming months what the UFC does with that situation. I know I was trying to pick a fight as well, but it's one of these things you've got to just play your cards right and see who gets the title shot. So it's a funny one with the whole division being wide open right now. But whoever's in front of me next, if it's Perez, if it's Cody, yeah, I'm excited. I'm having this time off, watching old fights, studying opponents, and working on different aspects, not just training, but you know, setting new goals, not being able to have your family around, but being isolated. That shows. I guess that builds character and it really puts things in perspective, and it definitely helps being in the fight game, knowing how to, I guess, kind of zone into what's important around you, focusing on what you can, and letting go of everything else. So that's been a big asset to be able to channel that, and I can help out other people as well that are, I guess, struggling in this situation where they feel like they're not losing touch of who they are, but this sense of identity. Being a fighter, you know, this is your job. You're here to fight, but when you can't do that, you can't really train. You can't see your teammates. You don't have a gym. You just got to make the most out of the situation. Stay positive. I know I'm going deep here into a different tangent, but I feel like it's important. You know, a lot of people already have anxiety, already have depression and overthink things, and this is definitely going to make it worse being in a lockdown situation. So yeah, you got to focus on things you can control, which is structuring your day. That's why I like to just get up, get off my phone, don't look at any media, start the day moving, do some yoga, go outside, go for a walk. I like to work out, get on my bike, and then I structure my day around that. So I'll write down like 3 things that I want to do for the day. 3 little goals, you know, nothing too big. Just, okay, I want to read this many chapters of my book, or I want to work out at least twice a day, or I want to stretch for at least an hour, or something like that. Just get through this time. You know, if you're in lockdown for a month, like we are, you want to come out of this, you know, having done something, not just look back and be like, I just watched TV and played COD the whole time. You want to make the most of your time. So, yeah, that's a little tip for people that are, I guess, struggling in this situation that we're in. Maybe that can help. If not, reach out to me. I'll let you know some other stuff that works for me. Yeah.
Definitely, man. You got to focus on like self-improvement, because with the age of technology right now, you could do anything online, right? You could even learn and study whatever you want to study. YouTube is full of tutorials and and all kinds of stuff that you could go in there and get lost in.
Yeah.
Instead of just, like you said, just laying there and feeling sorry for yourself, and just go out there and do something,
Yeah.
and like move around, and yeah, small goals, I guess. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
In the morning, write down some small goals, finish those, so you feel accomplished at the end of the day, and you go to sleep. Same thing the next day until this thing is over.
Yeah. It's like in fight camps when we're getting ready for the big event. You know, we have 10 weeks where we're preparing. So 10 weeks, you're putting everything into it, and it goes so quickly. So I knew a month is not going to be long. It's going to be long if you make it long. You know, if you're just twiddling your thumbs, looking at the walls, and you have no one to talk to. But luckily, I've got flatmates that we all have our own routines and stuff, and some of my flatmates are still working. They're working from home as well. So, yeah, we're lucky enough to come together in the evenings, and we have meals together and stuff. So that helps a lot. Reconnecting to family that I don't really speak to, that helps. Staying in touch like we are right now. So yeah, just little things like that. Staying kind of connected, not physically, but you know, you can still make the most of it. And like you said, learn some new skills off YouTube, or do an online course. Maybe learn a language. Be a great time to do that. I don't usually read books, so it's something that I've been forced to do, but I'm enjoying it, and it's something that I'm going to continue doing even after this.
Yeah, Kai, man. Hopefully, you know, this thing is over real soon, and they do give you that Cody Garbrandt fight. That's a pretty good matchup for yourself. Yeah. And I feel like if Cody Garbrandt does go to 125, it makes him an instant contender, man, without even fighting, to be honest with you, because he is a former champion. Yeah. So when you're a former champion, it gives you that cred. Yeah. And if you go in there and fight him and beat him, then gives you that cred, right? It passes off to you. So that's big.
Yeah, it's the right time. I feel like, even though people might be saying, you know, look at his resume, look at mine, but it's like, if you look at the guys I fought, they're all tough. They're all got big records, and there's no easy fight in the UFC. I'm not here to pick my fights. I've never been one to do that in the UFC. So whatever comes across the table, we go for it. We're here to fight. So if I can help that by naming my opponent, and he wants to take it as well, then it's a win-win. So yeah, if he comes down, I'd love to welcome him. So even if I'm a fan of your work, you can still catch his hands.
Definitely, man. Well, it's good catching up with you, Kai, and good luck on everything, and hopefully everything gets cleared up, moved on. We could get you back on here, and we're talking about the Cody fight or the Alex fight or whatever. But yeah, man, thank you so much. Take care.
Awesome, man. Always appreciate your time. Shot, brother.